day 3 of 12 days of Vlogmas. I thought you might be getting tired of voiceovers, so here's my face and my voice connected. Happy day 3. As you can see, I'm all Christmased up. I've got my penguin sweater on. I've got a nice homemade scarf that my friend Andrew made me, and this awesome hat with this giant pom-pom that my friend Edie made me for Christmas this year. So I'm ready. I'm ready for Christmas. I'm ready for cold weather. Actually, it's really hot in my room, so I'm over ready. Anyway, so today's video is going to be the history of a lot of common Christmas words that we say all the time that maybe you don't know what they mean or where they came from. I certainly didn't. That's why I looked them up. So I'm going to share with you now the history of Christmas words. I've written notes here so that I can be official and actually tell you real answers rather than see how much I can remember and maybe screw it up. So I'm going to read the answers so that I don't mess anything up trying to remember, because I want this to be a very factual video that you can come back to year and year again and say, what the hell is a humbug? And you'll find out. Okay, so the first thing we're going to look into is figgy pudding. What is figgy pudding? Is it pudding? Is it figgy? We don't know. We just don't know. But now we do because I have the answer. And we did before because it was on the internet. Here's what I found out. Figgy pudding is a cake. It's not a pudding. Although it starts off kind of pudding-y, but once you bake it, it turns into a cake. It's actually steamed into cake form. Basically, you put the mixture into a bundt pan and then put the bundt pan into boiling water and then bake it like that. So the water bakes, the heat of the water bakes the cake, so it's technically steamed, but no water comes in contact with the actual cake slash pudding. Now straight off the bat, I was not interested in this after learning that it was steamed because wetness and bread combined is my nightmare, so a steamed cake sounds horrific. Other people have likened it to being similar to fruitcake, which is also disgusting. So that's 2 strikes against figgy pudding. It consists of dried fruit, eggs, breadcrumbs, rum and brandy, or rum and or brandy, or both, or whatever. It's boozy. Basically, it's a very boozy drink. After you steam it, you can light it on fire. That's how much alcohol is in it, and that's actually how it's presented a lot of time. You know, for looks and drama. Exciting cake drama. Of course, it also has figs, because it's a figgy pudding. So yes, the fig part is accurate. It's a British food, which I think, I didn't find this information online, but I assume that's why it's called a pudding, because in England they just call dessert pudding. You're interrupting. Okay. Get out of here. Other names for figgy pudding include Christmas pudding and plum pudding. I imagine the plum pudding has plums in it rather than figs. As I said, it's most popular in Britain, although fondness for the dessert has been dying out. Because I guess people are wisening up to how gross it sounds and tastes, probably, and they're just straight up drinking the brandy instead of wasting it into a cake. That's what I would do if I was them. The origins of the cake can be traced back to Shakespearean times, which, I mean, what can't in England? It was also banned in the 1600s by English Puritans, because I feel like they probably were anti-booze. In popular culture, you might recognize it from Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, where Miss Cratchit brings in the figgy pudding at the end, lights it on fire, it's very exciting. And of course, it was immortalized in the song We Wish You a Merry Christmas by some very demanding carolers who will not leave until they get some figgy pudding. They're probably alcoholics. Number 2, what's a humbug? Have you ever heard of that? Yes, if you haven't, you're crazy. Number 1, it's the thing that Ebenezer Scrooge says all the time in A Christmas Carol. Bah humbug. But what is a humbug? I'll tell you. The word was first used in 1751 as student slang, and is referred to as a word used by, let me read it to you so I don't get it wrong, it's a word very much in vogue with people of taste and fashion. So just the trendiest young people. So the meaning of humbug is most commonly known to mean like fraudulent, or somebody or something that's deceptive or dishonest, something like that. I guess that means that Ebenezer Scrooge thinks that Christmas is hoaxy or a fraud, or not worth it, I guess. Like the whole, it's been built up to be something more than it is in his mind. That's why he calls it a humbug. This is something I learned that I did not know beforehand. In Wizard of Oz, at the end, when the wizard is discovered behind the curtain, he calls himself just a humbug. So dishonest, fraudulent, deceptive, because he was pretending to be this almighty wizard, and he's really just chilling out behind a curtain, just a regular dude. So there is a good representation of what the word means and why, unlike Dickens. So besides a word, it's also a hard candy that you can still buy in the UK. They're called humbugs. It's a mint flavored candy. It's probably pretty good. I don't know. I saw a picture of it. It's brown and stripy, which doesn't scream minty to me, but if it's still available, and it's probably okay. I love mint candy, so that's what a humbug is. 2 things. The next Christmas term I'm going to define is eggnog. You probably you're like, it's a drink, whatever, who cares? But what is nog? Egg, you know, there's eggs in it, but what's nog? Who knows? I don't know. Let's find out. So I looked up the origin of the word nog, and the immediate answer was nothing. Nobody knows. There's no answer. But then I kept looking and found out this information. So the nog part of eggnog might come from the Middle English word noggin, which is a small carved wooden mug used to serve alcohol. But then again, that's only a maybe. It said it might come from that term. So we don't actually know for sure what the word nog means and why it's been attached to eggnog. In fact, eggnog isn't the only name used for the drink. It's also called egg milk punch or egg flip because of the manner in which you stir in the eggs. Another fun fact is that the French term for eggnog translates to hen's milk, which is so weird and creepy because you cannot milk a hen. And now I'm just imagining a farmer trying to milk a hen. It's like just like the tiniest little milk that. That's all I got for eggnog, people. It's unknown. It's a mystery. Okay, and the last term for today is a Tom and Jerry. Have you ever heard of that? Me neither. I found it when I was looking up weird Christmas terms for this video. It is a drink served in the upper Midwest of the United States, very specific location, mostly Wisconsin and Minnesota. And despite being known as a US drink, it was actually invented by a British guy in 1820. The drink is similar to eggnog in that it has eggs and milk and stuff like that, but there are some variants in the ingredients. But also it's most commonly served in a mug or a bowl. That's weird. A bowl, a drink in a bowl. I've heard of having like soup in a cup, but a drink in a bowl? That's weird. So the name Tom and Jerry does not have anything to do with the cat and mouse cartoon that we know about, which is what I originally thought, but rather it's named after a book from 1821 by Pierce Egan. I'm going to read you the title because it's really long and I don't want to mess it up. It's called Life in London, or the Day and Night Scenes of Jerry Hawthorne Esquire and His Elegant Friend Corinthian Tom. Jerry Hawthorne, Corinthian Tom, Tom and Jerry, Jerry and Tom. The writer of the book made the cocktail for the release of the book, which made it popular, and it has remained popular in the upper Midwest of the US and pretty much nowhere else. But you can buy Tom and Jerry mix and keep it in your fridge for whenever you want to make the drinks. Since it was invented, the drink has been mentioned in several films, but they're all old. I don't think it's been mentioned lately, but I'll read you the ones where it has been mentioned in. 1940s Beyond Tomorrow, 1941's The Great Mr. Nobody, and 1960's The Apartment, which I have seen with Jack Lemmon. That's a good movie. It was also mentioned in the 1949 song by comically exaggerated Swedish character Yogi Jorgensen. Yogi Jorgensen was a character made up by an actual singer. I guess like we could make silly songs. The song is called I Just Go Nuts at Christmas. And throughout the song, all of the J's are replaced by Y's, so the drink is actually called a Tom and Jerry. Again, comically Swedish. So there you go. Those are 4 Christmas words, all food related. Thank you, Humbug, for being a mint candy also, to keep me on the food train. But those are the meanings of those 4 Christmas words. Maybe you already knew the meanings, maybe you didn't, maybe you always wondered, maybe you didn't care at all, and now you kind of are like, okay, I know, whatever, I can forget it, I can remember it. It doesn't really matter to me. It makes no difference. Either way, you know now, so it's in your brain. So sorry to whatever information got pushed out of your brain to hold on to this information. Whether you knew these words and their meanings before this video or not, I thank you for watching. I hope it was interesting and I hope you took something away from it. Maybe even if you didn't know what some of these words meant, I gave you a little extra information. Like Yogi Jorgensen. Huh? Gonna look him up now, right? I'm gonna link to his video down here in the description, so make sure you check that out. I Just Go Nuts at Christmas. Christmas classic from 1949. You gotta listen. Okay, I'm ending this. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye! Bye! Oh, my cat is meowing. Hi. Be quiet, because I'm filming.